So, here are my concerns with Doelow the Pilot Man, Pontius Pilate. Uh, so his astrology is really fucked up, and he masked his 2,000-year-old argument with another 2,000-year-old argument based on a confusion state on poetry. And the issue here I'm experiencing is the equinox. As I'm just going to read these out loud because why the hell not? The equinox. The sun used to be in the constellation Aries on the first day of spring, otherwise known as the venereal equinox. We should explain that as Earth revolves around the sun, the latter would appear to travel through 13 constellations comprising the zodiac. Greek astronomers Hipparchus of Nicaea, 1900 1200 BCE, introduced the term first point of Aries or cusp of Aries when he observed that the sun was within the constellation Aries during the venereal equinox. However, the sun's apparent venereal equinox position has continuously shifted along the ecliptic by about 1 degree every 73 years. And if you do 73 times 30, you get 2,190 years. So that would bring us now to today, which it is in Pisces. Years due to the precessional wobbling. The wobbling caused primarily by interactions with the sun and moon causes our planet pole to describe a 47-degree circle through the sky every 26,000 years. Consequently, the 13th zodiac constellations will all host the venereal equinox point during this 26,000-year cycle. According to astronomer Dean Meas, the venereal equinox point crossed the Aries-Pisces border in 68 BCE. Ironically, this shift occurred less than a century after Hipparchus' death. The venereal equinox point has been moving westward through Pisces ever since in AD 25. Ever since, yes, now, currently. I saw on March 20th, I looked at the sky and it was in Pisces. The sun is rising in Pisces, and that can't be disputed through observation, right? You astrologer punks? Okay. Anyways, because not all astrologers are bad, it's just these bullshit astrologers lost in the past. That's what I'm observing now. These people, especially Doelow, man, he's one of the biggest offenders who thinks he's right and he uses might is right mentality based on the presumption that no one can argue his points. Well, here's an argument. Consequently, okay, let's go more here. The venereal equinox point has been moving westward through Pisces ever since. In AD 2597, the venereal equinox will move into Aquarius, the water bearer, or to be more specific, it will cross into the rectangular region that the International Astronomical Union has designated as Aries region. Perhaps even then, astronomers will continue to refer the venereal equinox as the first point of Aries because, once again, they are stuck in a 2,000-year-old argument. Stellarium argument in live observation. When I observed the spring equinox on March 20th, 2022, it was in Pisces. If it shifts 1 degree every 73 years since Hipparchus documented over 2,000 years ago, then how can one still say the starting point is of Aries, is the truth, and you're a cardinal sign if you're considering yourselves an Aries with improper observation? Without this reasoning, then be considered pseudo, and the cardinal signs should be at 0 degrees Virgo, Gemini, Aquarius, and Pisces. With those close to these cusps posing the true ability to deliver the current age's messages, and angels are our angles of the degrees within our zodiac. The Tetrabiblos. Also in the Tetrabiblos, chapter 12, it states specifically that the cardinal point of Aries was assumed to be the 0 point, and that it has no beginning nor end. So my starting point and your claim to be cardinal fire is miscomputed based on your 2,000-year-old argument. That the equatorial drift is a false doctrine when it states specifically in literature Doelow referred, this is a big deal. Realm of all possibilities. By assigning oneself as a fixed, mutable, or cardinal sign, isn't one committing themselves to a finite number of possibilities based on a supposed outline for who you can or cannot be? This is a paradox of Doelow's mantra. And once we look at astrology as chakras, one can shapeshift these energies to become anything they wish, which you are certainly well aware of through your house system magic and 360 Ouroboros. Assigning God duties and motherfucking responsibilities through your Antares star, which means the wounding, occulted in the 31st July 2009. Bashing Jews. You also bash the Jews whom argue they are against fake Jews, leaders and principalities who generate a muss to hide behind the facade. The fake Jews read Talmud and not Torah, followers of severity and descendants of Saturn essence, who have covered this world in darkness, such as United Nations or Orthodox cults. Goyim. Goyim are those who bask in the limelight of cityscapes and listen to false prophets, aka news, media, and politics. They are not growers of the soil, but the abomination of desolation, and lack knowledge on how to even produce their own sustenance, and are like black holes, consuming everything laid out in front of them, such as trial vaccines, consuming false light, and spewing out confusion. Masculine and feminine. Spiritual androgyny is the ability to manifest thought forms in equilibrium, to have balanced ties in our ability to inject light into any situation, also known as the anima, animus, or yin and yang. Illumination is the power of discernment between constructive or destructive thoughts. The House of Regulus, the one I gain my abilities through, are to command loyalty, courage, honor, and justification through quick action and righteousness during constructive leadership with the well-being of all facets of life. In my experiences, you should be a predator, but in a good way. In the Torah, we call spiritual predators dogs. Your assault on masculinity has also shown your hands through feeling insecure about fit men and women. To what right do you reserve to disrespect anyone's path in life, especially with your state of health and acid reflux disorders that can be cured? Inability to drink water. You say that stars are water, yet you go to drink some and you feel like you are going to die. Then proceed to state that water on Earth is some type of kryptonite. If Uriel is an earth angel, you would think someone claiming to be just that can drink all the water they need. The monad. The current model is based on sacrificing through a Jesuit model. Jesus is a Jesuit construct coined to mislead the blind to drink blood and operate in vampiric faith by the eating of a ritual flesh. We're not supposed to sacrifice ourselves or swap life for decay. And anyone who reads their Bible will understand to follow no man and find his way back to himself, to stop externalizing their power and redirect inward, then outward through expression. It's easy to misunderstand the New Testament edits when one reads the Bible for its face value, as the followers of Jesus are asking to take up his cross to thus sacrifice themselves and follow an ideal. Why else do we have celebrities? Year of the Dragon. Doelow, are you even a dragon sign, dude? 2024, 2012, 2000, 1988, 1976, 1964, 1952. In those, 12 years, subtract, you can also, the World War II generation, I guess you would say. The name Uriel. Uriel was a son of Solomon who meant the bringer of peace. He killed his stepbrother to avenge the rape of his sister. Uriel is also another connotation for a seraph of Yahweh, who changed the name of Abraham to Abraham and commanded circumcision of the flesh. Since you do not consider yourself an adherent to the Abrahamic faith, how can one claim a title admonished to us within the Torah of supposed name? Also, Uriel is the angel of Uranus and Aquarius, and Azazel is of Antares, Pluto and Scorpio. And this is why you love Jesus, aka self-sacrifice, so much. Might is right. Based on past live streams and views brought to your concern that there are codes of conduct to build a proper foundation through virtues of wisdom, mercy, and everlasting, how can someone who commands people do anything as long as they can handle it act the proper channel for constructive building? If someone doesn't mind raping children and can sleep without a peep, who can also publicly get away with it through this lifetime and die with no guilt for raping children and the minds of men, think they will attain the same sense of clarity when their flesh dies and their souls they rape torture them in the afterlife. Harming animals. You stated you killed a cat and put its blood in your eyes. Does that not sound like a demon? Gregory gone wild. The Bible. Just because the modern lens of religion has blinded many through poetry, you know well that it is a coded book written in obscurity through translations and transliteration of how not to be. It gives you an easy spell to cast, to obtain souls to follow and watch 4-hour live streams because you are telling others of the hidden meanings of one of the best spell books in circulation. Also, why hadn't you spoken of how Azazel had commandment over the body of Yeshua when John brought the spirit down? And that's some of the biggest gripes I have with his bullshit channel and his soul bank, aka soul group. The dude even says that gives him a reason to wake up every day, to talk for 4 hours, your ears off, while you sit on your computer, absolutely not doing anything constructive, dancing in 3 circles and running a train on your skull, bashing it into submission because you think there isn't an argument. Well, this argument's coming to you, and I'm giving you time to prepare. So get ready because it's coming. Oh, and one more other thing. I was a proponent of this man's teachings, but as soon as I started getting into the literature, which he himself said Ptolemy, read the literature, and he even said that it came from Ptolemy. I read the Tetrabiblos, and I read chapter 12, and I saw that it was an assumed starting point of Aries because of some guy in 190 BC had observed. Yes, at the time that was written, that was correct, but as we go through the procession and the wobble, things change, and we have different energies being summoned on this planet through us being born. And I admonish that you're causing people to follow the wrong path, a path 2,000 years ago that was in control of the god of war, Ares. We understand that. If you don't understand that, you get sucked into Doelow's soul trap. So I'm just saying, listen to this literature, read it, and then you see the fakes, the charlatans, those wishing to cast spells and dark energy on your. As soon as I go to be in this live stream, I feel a sensation of darkness hit my throat chakra. It's incredible the amount of dark energy swirling around this motherfucker. He even says he's a motherfucker. He is a motherfucker. God duties and motherfucking. Who wants to fuck their mother, fucker?